Hey guys, how you doing? Norman Philosopher here, making another video. This one's going to be about the election and my takeaways from it. So obviously Donald Trump won in resounding fashion. It was an absolute total victory for him. He not only won the Electoral College by a wide margin, but he won the popular vote by something like 5 million votes. He won, I believe, the Electoral College in the widest margin in the last 30 years. So it was an absolute total victory. There were, something like 8 million less votes that Kamala got than Joe Biden. Now, not all of those votes went to Trump. A lot of those people just didn't vote. But Kamala Harris was widely unpopular, unliked, and untrusted by the American people. She was unprepared. She had no plan. She had no ability to answer tough questions. She came off looking extremely weak and indecisive and just foolish, with faking the accents. That was a big thing that turned a lot of people off. She's got her ghetto accent, for lack of a better word. She's got her southern accent. She even had a Latino accent. And then she had, her regular accent when she was in the Midwest. So it was just very condescending and fake. That was one thing. Number two, we learned that the legacy media are their forecasts, they're absolute liars. The conservative media was saying that this is going to be close. Trump could win though, but it's a close race. And the liberal media, the MSNBC, the CNN, made it out to be like it was going to be an absolute victory for Kamala Harris by a very wide margin. And obviously, that's not what happened. So we know that legacy media is not to be trusted. They were, and not only this, but they were wrong in 2016. 2016, they were saying that Hillary was going to wipe the floor with Donald Trump, and he smoked her. Trump got all the swing states, even Nevada, which I thought there was no way in hell he was going to get. He got more Latino men voted for him than voted for Kamala. That's never happened before. Usually Latinos are a strong voting bloc, maybe except for South Florida with the Cubans and the Venezuelans, but he really came out and supported Trump. So that's another exciting. One, Kamala Harris, widely unpopular. Two, you got many votes that Biden got, Kamala didn't get. Not all of them went to Trump, but many of them just didn't vote. And there were certain voting blocks that actually he was able to flip. Mostly black men did vote for Kamala. We knew that was going to happen, but a lot less did. I think only like 88% of them did. Where usually the Democrats can count on them to be in the mid to high 90s. So they got less. And white women primarily, majority voted for Donald Trump as opposed to Kamala. So it was just a definitely coming down with something. But there were a lot of different people that came together that, in my opinion, really voted against more than voted for. No, I wouldn't really say that, though. I think it was a combination of just voting for a better economy, strong borders, strong military, security, and voting against, the haranguing of people and censoring people, calling them racists and fascists and homophobes and this and that. Democrats really need to take a good look in the mirror, because the agenda that they're trying to push is the agenda that is popular in the bi-coastal areas. Most of this is, a cultural war that they're trying to push with the trannies and asylum seekers, and having asylum cities and safe spaces and all this bullshit, and just the vitriolic rhetoric against anything that has been or could be perceived as like traditional American values. Has just been absolutely tarnished and shit on by the left. People really were just sick of it. People were sick and tired of being called a racist and a homophobe and a Nazi and a fascist because they don't believe that they don't believe that the agenda that the liberals are trying to push. The liberals claim to be all inclusive. They're all about inclusivity and inclusion and diversity. But the thing is that when you have a different opinion, they not only don't include you, but they don't acknowledge the diversity of opinions. They only want diversity the way that they define it, which is all the oppressed victim groups that they want in their coalition. And that's what people are voting against. And the Democrats really, because I'm an independent. I lean right, but I wouldn't call myself a right winger. I lean right, but I have a lot of, I guess you could say, liberal views on healthcare, on education. I do think that having public access to these things is a good idea. But I would never vote for them. I could never sign off on them, due to the abysmal job they did at the border, the cultural war that they're trying to push with the transgender bullshit, and trying to push that in schools with kids. I think is absolutely morally reprehensible. I don't support it. So that's why they lost. They lost because they were totally out of touch with, most Americans. Trying to basically push an agenda that's widely accepted by bi-coastal liberal elites, and then having, celebrities in Hollywood to make smear campaigns against Donald Trump and anyone who's, not part of the liberal coalition. So they're trying to push pop culture and Hollywood and bi-coastal cultural elitism onto the rest of the country, where we don't want that. We don't want wide open borders. We don't want people coming in and getting asylum and getting to live here and not being properly vetted. We don't want transgenderism pushed in schools. We don't want that. Those are just a few things. So they really need to take a good look and stop fucking pushing shit that is even turning their own base off from them. I mean, they got absolutely annihilated. And in my opinion, they're never going to win another election as long as they have this extreme agenda that they're trying to push. It's an unwinnable. They're an unwinnable political party if they continue to operate in the way that they're operating. The thing is, most people just care about what's in their control. They don't have the time kids, and they have, you know, other hobbies. They don't have 3-4 hours a day to really like sit there and listen and gather all the information to me for all these you know, these issues that are going on. So people really care about their pocketbook, and they care about what's right in front of them. And that's what people care about. That's what Donald Trump spoke to. So, you know, the Democrats are trying to push their idealism on people, and it backfired on them. And that's what we learned. That, you know, they're a bunch of smug, arrogant, elitists that really hate the American population, look down on the American population. And they were trying to push a narrative that got rejected. And they need a real identity, they need a real good look in the mirror, because they need to recreate themselves, because they're totally unwinnable at this point.